Welcome to Retro Rides Garage. Today we're firing up the engines and rolling back through movie history to showcase 15 of the wildest, weirdest, and most forgotten cars from classic American films. These aren't the usual muscle car icons, they're the bold customs, bizarre builds, and scene-stealing machines that hit the screen hard and then disappeared into obscurity. From stretched cruisers to one-of-a-kind creations with real attitude, these rides had serious presence. Buckle up and join us as we rediscover the lost legends of Hollywood's most underrated four-wheeled stars. Number 15. The 1959 Cadillac Coupe de Ville, featured in the 1989 film Pink Cadillac, starring Clint Eastwood and Bernadette Peters, is more than just a flashy prop. It's the rolling soul of the movie. With its towering tail fins, bubblegum pink paint, and lavish chrome details, the car reflects the bold optimism and extravagance of late 50s American design. In the film, Peters' character, Lou Ann, escapes a dangerous white supremacist group by taking off in her husband's cherished pink Cadillac, unaware it hides counterfeit money in the trunk. Eastwood plays Tommy Nowak, a bounty hunter sent to retrieve her. But as their journey stretches across desert highways and quirky small towns, the Cadillac shifts from background scenery to a symbol of freedom, rebellion, and unexpected human connection. Powering this massive coupe is a 390 cubic inch V8 engine delivering 325 horsepower through a hydromatic automatic transmission, with power steering and brakes adding to its smooth ride. The sweeping fenders, dual bullet tail lights, spacious interior, and dramatic silhouette turn every scene into a postcard of vintage Americana. From tense confrontations to comedic chases, the car becomes a character in its own right. Though the film saw mixed reviews, its legacy rides on four iconic white wall tires. Isn't it incredible how a car can steal the show without saying a word? Number 14. The 1977 Pontiac Trans Am, immortalized in Smokey and the Bandit, isn't just a muscle car. It's a legend on wheels. With its black and gold paint scheme, screaming Firebird decal, and T-top roof, the Trans Am became an instant cultural icon when Burt Reynolds, as the charismatic bandit, tore across the American South, outrunning police and hauling bootleg Coors beer. The car perfectly embodied late 70s swagger and performance, featuring a 6.6-liter V8 engine producing 200 horsepower, paired with a 3-speed automatic transmission. While not the fastest car of its time on paper, it made up for it with attitude, agility, and cinematic presence, sliding through corners, dodging roadblocks, and leaping off ramps in high-flying chase scenes. The film elevated the Trans Am to pop culture stardom, boosting Pontiac's sales and redefining the muscle car for a new generation. Inside, it boasted bucket seats, a sporty dash, and just enough grit to feel rebellious yet refined. It wasn't just transportation. It was Bandit's sidekick, shield, and identity, turning a simple beer run into a cross-country thrill ride. While the plot was light and the humor broad, the black Trans Am stole the show every time it roared onto the screen. Who knew one car could burn rubber straight into movie history? Number 13. The 1969 Mercedes-Benz 600 in The Witches of Eastwick, 1987, is far more than transport. It's a motorized emblem of opulence and power, mirroring Daryl Van Horn's, Jack Nicholson, dark charm and influence over the three women he bewilders. Cloaked in sleek black paint, its imposing stature, hydraulic suspension, and cooling chrome accents establish an aura of quietly sinister elegance the moment Van Horn pulls up. Introduced to America in the 60s as a limousine for presidents and celebrities, the 600's history of resplendence and exclusivity makes it the perfect on-screen stage for a man who manipulates fate itself. Under the hood lies an air-thin body, 40 over 40.6 millimeter straight 8 engine, linked to a 4-speed automatic transmission, offering a hushed yet formidable ride befitting its aristocratic pedigree. On screen, the car glides through dark suburban streets and candlelit affairs, reinforcing Van Horn's status as both enigmatic savior and sinister puppet master. Its lavish leather interior and sumptuous wood trim become a mobile throne room, part of his inscrutable identity as he woos Alexandra, Jane, and Suki into the supernatural trinity that turns Eastwick upside down. Though the story hinges on magic and revenge, the Mercedes-Benz 600 silently proclaims that real power often arrives in sleek, unspoken grandeur. Isn't it fascinating how a single car can become the silent architect of enchantment and danger? Number 12. The Ford Crown Victoria in Men in Black, 1997, may look like an ordinary government sedan, but it's actually one of the film's most clever disguises, blending mundane bureaucracy with extraterrestrial tech. Driven by Agent J, Will Smith, and Agent K, Tommy Lee Jones, the car starts out as a no-frills NYPD-style vehicle, reinforcing the agent's undercover nature. But when the chase gets cosmic, the Crown Vic transforms dramatically, unleashing rocket thrusters and going from 0 to hyperspeed in seconds, revealing its true identity as a high-powered interstellar pursuit machine. Under its hood in real life, this model packed a 4.6-liter V8 engine producing over 200 horsepower, commonly used by police departments for its durability and muscle. Its presence in the film plays with the audience's expectations. What seems ordinary is anything but. With a functional black and white design and utilitarian interior, it's a far cry from flashy sci-fi ships, making its transformations even more surprising and hilarious. The Crown Vic doesn't just carry the agents, it embodies the Men in Black's entire philosophy. Low profile on the outside, high tech beneath. In a movie full of aliens and absurd gadgets, who would have thought a fleet sedan would steal the show? Isn't it brilliant when the ordinary hides the extraordinary? Number 11. The Cadillac Series 75 Fleetwood Limousine, featured in The Godfather, 1972, is a rolling monument to old-world power, elegance, and the quiet threat that underpins the Corleone Empire. Long, black, and imposing, this luxury sedan was the choice of high society, heads of state, and in the film's case, organized crime royalty. With its massive body, chrome-laden grille, and privacy partition, the Series 75 offered both authority and discretion, making it the perfect chariot for Vito Corleone's inner circle. Powered by a 7.7-liter V8 engine with around 375 horsepower, it glided through New York streets with silent menace and a sense of untouchable control. The limousine's spacious, velvet-trimmed interior symbolized the wealth and stature of the Corleones, yet also served as a confined space for key betrayals and power plays, most infamously during the chilling toll booth ambush of Sonny Corleone. Its presence was both cinematic and symbolic. Wherever the limo went, power followed, and often so did blood. The Cadillac Fleetwood wasn't flashy, it was deliberate, timeless, and lethal in its elegance. In a saga defined by loyalty, honor, and revenge, isn't it telling that the car of choice was one that moved like a hearse and roared like a warning? Number 10. The Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow in Arthur, 1981, is more than a rich man's ride. It's a comedic crown jewel that perfectly matches the film's boozy billionaire protagonist, Arthur Bach, played by Dudley Moore. With its stately design, gleaming chrome grille, and plush interior, the Silver Shadow symbolizes old money elegance and upper-class privilege, yet becomes hilariously ironic in the hands of Arthur, who navigates life with childlike chaos and a constant buzz. Powered by a 6.75-liter V8 engine And equipped with advanced features for its time, like hydraulic self-leveling suspension, the Silver Shadow offered supreme comfort and silence, contrasting sharply with Arthur's loud, stumbling antics behind the wheel. One of the film's most iconic moments shows him driving the Rolls while completely intoxicated, weaving through Manhattan traffic and engaging in tipsy banter, turning the luxurious vehicle into a visual gag that underscores his wealth and irresponsibility. Yet the car is more than a punchline. It also reflects Arthur's arc, from careless heir to a man struggling with expectations and heart. By the film's end, the Rolls isn't just transportation, it's a symbol of the absurd comfort he's expected to live in and possibly leave behind. Isn't it amusing how a luxury car can reveal a man's flaws better than a mirror? Number 9. The 1975 Lincoln Continental Mark IV in the Lincoln Lawyer, 2011, is not just a retro ride. It's the film's mobile courtroom, confession booth, and character compass, perfectly suited to defense attorney Mickey Haller, played by Matthew McConaughey. With its long hood, sharp body lines, vinyl roof, and massive presence, the Mark IV exudes old-school luxury and quiet authority, mirroring Haller's charm and streetwise style. Under the hood, this land yacht packs a massive 7.5-liter V8 engine producing over 200 horsepower, floating smoothly along Los Angeles streets as Haller conducts business from the back seat. While most lawyers operate from corner offices, Haller rides in motion, making deals, prepping witnesses, and navigating moral gray areas from the leather-lined comfort of his Lincoln, driven by a loyal chauffeur and symbolizing his unconventional, always-on-the-move career. The car's vintage coolness adds depth to the film's noir legal vibe, and its constant presence reinforces the story's theme of navigating justice with style, grit, and a touch of rebellion. More than a vehicle, the Mark IV becomes Haller's rolling sanctuary and symbol of independence. Isn't it compelling how a car can define a character's rhythm, reputation, and entire way of life? Number 8. The 1967 Cadillac Eldorado in Casino, 1995, is the ultimate expression of Las Vegas flash and gangster swagger, a perfect fit for Robert De Niro's character Sam Ace Rothstein, the sharp-suited casino boss who runs the show with obsessive precision. With its crisp angles, hidden headlights, and sleek coupe body, the Eldorado reflected the cutting-edge luxury of its time, and in Casino, it became a rolling symbol of Ace's power, control, and style. Powered by a front-wheel drive setup and a massive 7-liter V8 engine delivering 340 horsepower, the car was built for high-speed comfort and status, gliding through the neon-lit streets like a monarch on wheels. The Eldorado shows up in key moments, none more iconic than the film's explosive opening, where a car bomb nearly ends Ace's life. That moment isn't just shock. It's a metaphor, with the Cadillac representing his seemingly invincible empire, now shattered by betrayal and excess. With a plush interior, white-wall tires, and a gangster glam aesthetic, it stands out amid the film's parade of wealth and corruption. In Casino, the Eldorado doesn't just drive through scenes, it announces them. Isn't it powerful how one car can carry the weight of a character's rise, fall, and survival? Number 7. The 1970 Dodge Challenger RT in Vanishing Point, 1971, isn't just a muscle car. It's the film's beating heart, a high-octane symbol of rebellion, freedom, and existential escape. Driven by Kowalski, a war vet and ex-cop turned delivery driver, the Alpine White Challenger blazes across the American Southwest in a desperate drug-fueled race against time, police, and fate. Its 440 cubic-inch Magnum Vive 8-engine pumps out 375 horsepower, paired with a 4-speed manual transmission and rear-wheel drive, making it brutally fast and built for the endless highways it devours. The car's aggressive stance, twin-scooped hood, and minimalist interior strip away distractions, letting the raw power of metal, speed, and man take center stage. On screen, the Challenger becomes more than a vehicle. It's a white bullet slicing through desolate landscapes, chased by authorities and cheered on by outcasts, including the blind DJ Super Soul, who mythologizes Kowalski's journey. As the film hurtles toward its shocking, symbolic ending, the Challenger represents resistance against conformity, government control, and personal demons. In a movie where dialogue is sparse and philosophy rides shotgun, isn't it striking how a roaring engine says everything about a man trying to outrun his own past? Number 6. The 1973 Ford Gran Torino in Gran Torino, 2008, is more than a prized possession. It's a steel embodiment of Walt Kowalski's past, pride, and personal code. Played by Clint Eastwood, Walt is a grizzled Korean war vet, clinging to old values in a changing Detroit neighborhood, and his mint-condition Gran Torino, with its aggressive lines, long hood, and dark green finish, stands as a relic of American muscle and manufacturing might. Under the hood, it housed a 5.8-liter V8 engine, producing 220 horsepower. Powerful for its era, but its significance in the film is less about speed and more about symbolism. The car represents everything Walt believes is slipping away: craftsmanship, dignity, and control. As tensions rise with local gangs and bonds form with his Hmong neighbors, the Gran Torino shifts from a trophy to a test of legacy, culminating in a powerful act of sacrifice where Walt uses the car and himself as tools of justice. From the opening scene to the final shot, the Torino is always more than metal. It's Walt's armor, altar, and eventual gift of redemption. Isn't it poetic how a man's car can carry not just his history, but his humanity? Number 5. The 1974 Dodge Monaco in the Blues Brothers. 1980, famously known as the Bluesmobile, is an unlikely legend. A decommissioned police cruiser turned divine chariot for chaos, comedy, and soul. Driven by Jake and Elwood Blues on their mission from God, the battered black and white Monaco surprises everyone with its impossible stunts and ridiculous durability. With a 440 cubic inch V8 engine, cop suspension, and cop shocks, it tears through Chicago's streets, malls, and even flies off ramps like a muscle car possessed. Its rundown look makes its supernatural capabilities even funnier, and Elwood's straight-faced loyalty to the car turns it into a running gag that somehow feels epic. It outpaces state troopers, leaps drawbridges, and becomes a silent third character in the duo's gospel-fueled quest to save their orphanage. And when it collapses in pieces at the end, after finishing its job, it feels like a loyal steed giving its last breath. Isn't it amazing how one junkyard cruiser became the soul-powered heart of a musical comedy classic? Number 4. The 1968 Ford Mustang GT 390 Fastback in Bullitt, 1968, is the epitome of cool forever etched into film history, thanks to Steve McQueen's legendary performance and the movie's groundbreaking car chase. Painted in Highland green and stripped of badges and excess chrome, the Mustang reflects Lieutenant Frank Bullitt's no-nonsense, street-smart persona. Beneath its hood growls a 390 cubic inch V8 engine, pushing over 300 horsepower, paired with a 4-speed manual transmission that McQueen famously shifted himself during filming. The Mustang's raw sound, gritty aesthetic, and aggressive handling turned it into more than a car. It became a character. In the iconic chase through San Francisco's steep streets, the Mustang dances between traffic, launches over hills, and locks horns with a black Dodge Charger in a gritty, tire-squealing ballet that redefined action sequences. The car's stripped-down muscle and grounded realism made it unforgettable. It didn't need flash. It had presence, purpose, and attitude. Isn't it wild how one Mustang, in 10 minutes of film, redefined what movie car chases and movie cars could be? Number 3. The 1950 Mercury 8 in Rebel Without a Cause, 1955 is the ultimate symbol of teen rebellion, perfectly matched to the film's raw emotion and James Dean's iconic presence. With its chopped roof, custom grille, and low stance, the Mercury channels the post-war hot rod culture that gave a voice to youth yearning for identity. Though Dean's character, Jim Stark, doesn't drive it, the car becomes unforgettable in the Chicky Run scene, where Buzz races it toward a cliff in a reckless test of courage. Its dramatic plunge marks a tragic turning point and becomes a haunting metaphor for the consequences of youthful bravado. The Mercury's sleek yet aggressive design made it a favorite among greasers and rebels, giving the film a visual edge that amplified its themes of isolation and defiance. More than just chrome and steel, the car represented the intensity and fragility of youth. Isn't it striking how one vehicle's final flight captured the spirit of a generation on the edge? Number 2. The 1949 Buick Roadmaster in Rain Man, 1988, isn't just a beautiful classic. It's the emotional thread tying together a cross-country journey and two fractured lives. With its flowing fenders, waterfall grille, and iconic venti ports, the Roadmaster represents a bygone era of elegance and tradition, reflecting the inheritance left by the father who separated Charlie, Tom Cruise, and Raymond, Dustin Hoffman. Powered by a straight 8 engine with a Dynaflow automatic transmission, the car glides smoothly across America as the brothers reconnect, forming fragile but growing bonds. Raymond's attachment to the Buick, his insistence on not flying, his calm in the back seat, anchors the journey in routine and familiarity. Meanwhile, Charlie's fast-talking, materialistic worldview begins to soften inside the car's plush interior. The Buick becomes more than a ride. It's their mobile therapy session, a stage for Charlie's transformation and Raymond's quiet strength. By the journey's end, the Roadmaster carries more than luggage. It holds understanding, acceptance, and a brotherhood that never existed before. Isn't it moving how a car can steer two people towards something they never knew they needed? Number 1. The 1971 Plymouth Valiant. Not Satellite, as often misidentified in Duel, 1971, is the film's unassuming hero. A bright red sedan pitted against a hulking Peterbilt truck in a relentless, high-stakes chase. Driven by David Mann, a quiet salesman played by Dennis Weaver, the Valiant symbolizes ordinary life, modest, practical, and vulnerable, thrust into extraordinary danger. With its slant-six engine and lightweight frame, the car is no match in power, yet its agility and resilience mirror man's psychological shift from passive victim to desperate survivor. As Spielberg's camera lingers on the Valiant, weaving through desert roads, overheating and skidding to avoid the unseen truck driver's deadly ambushes, the car becomes an extension of man's mounting panic and will to live. Its very ordinariness makes it relatable, emphasizing that the threat could happen to anyone. The Valiant endures punishment, much like its driver, until a final act of defiance turns it into an unlikely weapon of escape. Isn't it powerful how a simple compact car can carry the full weight of suspense, survival, and human instinct under pressure?